Hello, I am Anna Edgenation. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I feel things, I improv, and then weird shit happens. This is where we are ethically, authentically integrated into the whole of the self, and I know shit. Now, I'm analyzing money and I'm looking at it, going, there's a whole order of operations that occurs, and the order is all in the wrong order. And people are like, you don't need people, you just need money. And I'm going, so I've been playing around with the order of operations for quite a while. And this is the thing that no one ever talks about, is that if you have money problems, you actually have people problems. You're not going to get people's money until you fix your people problem. And this really opened a door for me. And I went, interesting. So I struggle with people problems. I have a lot of people problems. I know I do. I know I do. And the reason why I have people problems is because I don't filter. I don't wear a mask. Now, this is like a double-edged sword. People love the raw, the authentic, and the real until I say something that they don't like. And I don't mask my opinion or beliefs, and then I use logic to prove them wrong. They don't like this. So I have a big people problem, but I have a very unique people problem. I have a people problem on such a level that I can't pull out a book and just research it somewhere and be like, oh, that's my solution, because my people problem is really, really different. You see, I will not give up truth for people. And that's really what it comes down to. When it comes to truth versus people, I will choose truth day and night, like hands down. And the reason why is because people lie, truth doesn't. Oh, well, that really summarizes it, doesn't it? Yeah, truth doesn't lie. Okay, it's in the name, people. It's in the name. You can trust truth. It's in the name. So I trust truth, not people. And this has been like a hardcore thing in my brain since day one. My parents presented themselves to me. Yeah, that's right. They presented themselves to me, not the other way around. And I went, okay, can I trust you? Do you speak the truth? Now, I knew right away that they didn't speak the truth because there was logical fallacy all over the place by the time I was 4. So I went, you are not trustworthy. To be trustworthy is to speak the truth, which is logic. See how this works? So immediately I went, okay, you're not logical. You don't speak the truth, so I can't trust you. The end. And quickly I realized that people prioritized ego, and they wanted to be trusted without telling the truth. Don't we all? Yeah, no, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. So then I would have a couple people in my life, and they would get really, really pissed off at me. Like, why do you always have to have the proof? Because people lie. Like, well, that's why. And I found out that the liars were the ones who opposed me the most on this, where they were like, can't you just take my word for it? No, because your education, all of our education, was shit. So why are you trusting shit education? Because people lie. So I learned a long time ago that you can trust truth with logic. Everything else is questionable. So I carved out this beautiful little thing for myself of truth, trust, logic. And I'm oh my God, this is my happy place. Woohoo. But I'm a population of 1. And that's okay. That's all right. I've gotten used to that. And thank you, Lizzie. And then I got a couple people in here. No, thank you. There's no more milk. And then I get a couple people in here, and they're my people. They're my people. And here's the thing is abuse happens outside of truth. And that's really it. Abusers don't use logic. Abusers don't use truth, but they want the trust. And it's like, dude, it's in the name. So I've like carved out this whole thing of abuse-free space. It's wonderful. And I got my truth, my trust, my logic. I'm very happy. And I will never, ever sacrifice truth or logic to preserve the flaw or error of another person. Truth, not even my own, for God's sakes. And this is really what it comes down to. I won't even prioritize my ego above truth. Why the fuck would I prioritize yours? Boom, there it is. I don't even give me the priority of putting myself above truth. Why the fuck would I give you that? Fuck that shit. No one's above the truth. No one, especially all of us. So it's this idea, and this is something I've run into where I am, oh good God, I love being wrong. I love being wrong. Show me my logical fallacy logically so that I can correct my error. Because I want a purified, gorgeous, perfect knitted blanket of logic. That's what I value. And as a result, I know what I'm being lied to because I have this gorgeous blanket of truth. And every time someone comes to me with their bullshit, I can see it right away because logic. So, in order to get to this point, it was 30 plus years of my ego could not exist. And good fucking God, that was hard. Now, and hard in the sense of humility, like rammed me down into the ground to the detriment of my own survival at times. So I just stand so tightly next to logic and truth that I can't be wrong. And that's really it. I make sure that my logic and my truth is so fucking pure that I can't be wrong. And if it is, great. It means I get to stand closer to logic and truth. But there are people who want to be right and they want to be trusted without the truth or logic. And I'm like, you cannot. Right and trust means I have logic and the truth. And this is where I see a bunch of tantruming toddlers going, but I want to be right, but you don't want to do the work. So then there's the whole ethical equation of, do you preserve their ego? No. Fuck that shit. No. I have no tolerance for ego. Ego is a refusal to learn. It's saying, I'm better than the truth. No, you're not. No one is. No one is. This is all about priority. And this is what self-honesty is. We hear about, well, you got to be honest with yourself. Oh, that one's hard. You have to be logically truthful with yourself. And that means give up the ego. But a lot of people refuse to give up the ego. So now, what is the name of this particular thing? Money problems. Right. We're talking about money problems are really people problems. So I'm sitting here analyzing my marketing, and that's really what I did a lot of yesterday was I was analyzing and breaking down my marketing and the messaging. And in a world filled with liars, they're not going to like what I have to say, bottom line, which is okay because I don't want to work with liars. So win-win. So I'm looking for truth seekers. That's really it. I'm looking for truth seekers. And that's it. I'm looking for truth seekers. There you go. So actually I don't think I have a problem with people. No, I don't. I have a problem with liars and abusers. And I have a problem with ego. I have no fucking tolerance for it. And that's really, and here's the thing is people walk into life with this opinion. Opinion is the death of learning. As soon as you have an opinion, you have gone, well, I know everything. I am going to give up learning now. Because either you have fact to back up your opinion, which means it's not an opinion, it's fact, or you got an ego problem. So I have no tolerance for opinion. I have fucking no tolerance for opinion. So I'm taking a massive step back. And here's a problem that I've had my whole life is people love my energy. Well, the thing is, my energy is pure truth because I cleansed it. Like I purified the fuck out of it with logic. And so when people are around me, they're like, oh my God, your energy. I know my energy, right? This is the consequence of pure truth. This is what it is. And I get people who just like absorb me. But the thing is, you can't be around me in my inner circle without growing because I'm fertile. I'm going to say it. I'm fertilizer. I am fertilizer. And my energy is pure fertilizer. So people who come around me instantly grow. And it's amazing because in my inner circle, they all hit the same growth at the same time. They just ploop, and they're like, holy shit. And it's amazing to see. And it's not the first time. I've been like this my whole life. You cannot be around me and not grow. You're going to grow. I'm just booming fertilizer here. So I know how to like throw my fertilizer all over the place. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I know how to throw my fertilizer all over the place. It's physics. So I use physics to move my fertilizer around. And I know how to nourish my fertilizer to get the best fertilizer. And so then when people come around me, they're like, oh my God. And they just bathe in my energy. And then sure enough, they're like, boom, miracle growth for people. That's what I am. I am miracle grow for people. That's what I am. That's right. That's right. I am miracle grow for people. And it's amazing to see. But here's the thing is if you don't like something, if you I'm walking around the mirror of reality and the mirror of truth. And I've seen this so many times. It took me a long time to figure out what the fuck was wrong. It's not wrong. It's just people would get near me and they would start to grow and then they would see their own truth and then they would shun me and throw me away because they don't want to deal with their truth. And then they would heal later, come back to me and be like, I treated you like X because you made me see the truth. Yeah, I do that to people. And when I meet people, I actually have a disclaimer. It's got to be real. You've got to be real with me because if you can't be around me, it's not going to last. If you're going to be around me, you're going to see your truth sooner or later. I'm going to show you all the bullshit lies you have told yourself. You can only be around me a certain amount of time before you start to see your own bullshit. So now you've got to choose between your bullshit or the truth. It's really fucking weird, but that's the way it is. It's the way it's always been with me. So I just don't have a lot of people in my life because of this. But now people are starting to get to a point where they're realizing, wow, not having truth is really costing them. So now I have people coming to me going, oh my God, it's a breath of fresh air because you're honest. It's truthful. Well, yeah, like it's pure logic. It's pure love. Love logic gets you truth, trust, and then it's a thing because I'm fertilizer. And I get one of two kinds of people. I get the kind of people who are committed to the truth and the kind of people who are bullshitting themselves. And the people who bullshit themselves don't last long. They want to fight with me about what they think truth is. And I'm like, no, not going to happen here. Not going to fucking happen. And I pull out the logic, I slam it down, and boom, there you go. And then they abandon logic and then they just start right fighting. And when right fighting happens, I reject them. That's when I'm like, nope, done. We don't do right fighting. Because now you're talking about the ego. I have no tolerance for the ego. We're back to that again. So this is actually why I stopped talking to my brother, is because he wanted for nothing. He wanted to break my logic. He was adamant to break. And my former best friend did this to me as well. It was this belief of, I'm going to break your logic to conform to me. That way I can keep you. And no. And it was like, if you can best me in a fight, it proves you're right. That's what it comes down to. If you can best me in a fight, you know you're right. So I get these assholes who try and best me in logic. And it's like, there's only one fucking person in the entire world who's ever been able to best me in logic because his logic is better than mine. And that's my imp. So I'm looking at it going, I have no tolerance for right fighters. As soon as I get a right fighter, I'm like, no, I know what that is. I've been around that my whole life. I'm all done with that shit. So I'm working on my marketing. I'm looking at my whole, do I have a people problem? And I don't think I do if I'm honest. Let me rephrase that. I don't think I do if I'm direct about what I am. And I am loyal to truth. That's it right there. I'm loyal to truth above and beyond my own ego. And that's it right there. And there is nothing else. I am going to be loyal to truth first and foremost. And I collect truth. I collect it. And I get people around me, and I don't think they're clear about what it is I do. And I think that is my fault. That is me not being clear about what I am and what I do. And really, I think that's it, is I am miracle grow. I am miracle grow for people. I'm writing this down. I am the miracle grow for people. However, there's a cost. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you your ego. It's going to cost you your lies, and it's going to cost you your delusions. And it's also going to cost you your mental health, as in the toxic mental health. But you've got to get rid of your ego, your lie, and your delusion first. And that's it right there. That's it. So, yeah, I think that's it. I am the miracle grow for people. I am fertilizer for people. And I can feel it. This is going to be another marketing day where I'm like just honing down my message of, let's make it very clear what I do here. Is you can't be around me without growing. You're going to fucking grow like crazy. However, your ego, your lies, and your delusions have got to get checked at the door. And I'll purify the fuck out of you. Oh, you have no idea. So, yeah. Yeah. So it's absolutely fascinating to me to see, like, and I'm just looking at people. And the best thing is when you have the truth, when you have logic, you have the ability to immediately tell all the bullshit in your life. So it's really a, do you want the bullshit or no? Like and there's so much fucking bullshit out there. And that's why I couldn't handle it anymore. I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm done here. I'm so fucking done with it. And at the same time, that's it. It's pure authenticity. I'm trying to figure out at what point was it, that tipping point in my life, in my brain, where I was like, I don't think there ever was one. It was just, no, there was one time period where I was not being authentic. One time. That was fucking hard. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I thought, and this is what it was I had been told X. So I did X. I got to X and I went, something is wrong. There's something going on here. And I couldn't figure it out for the longest time. So my intuition, my logic was screaming at me. And I'm like, I don't understand. People told me X. I'm doing X. Why doesn't it feel good? And it wasn't until getting out of that was very, very difficult for me. Basically, I was told that society taught me that being popular and having a large group of friends was absolutely vital to your nourishment and your health and all of that. And I found a group of people that were on the surface very loving, very affectionate, but something felt so wrong. And I was with these group of people from 2021 to 2023. And every time I got around them, I felt dirty and filthy. Every time. And the more I kept going around and around them, the more dirty and filthier I felt. And I couldn't figure out why. And in 2023, I finally severed all connection. I would say 99% of connection. And I only kept a small handful. And even then, I walked around those couple handfuls from 2023 to 2024 more as an experiment to see what the fuck is going on. And April 2024 was the last time I was around this group. And at that point, it was just psychological study of what the fuck is going on. Sure enough, I was able to narrow it down and I went, there it is, figured it out. So here's what was going on. These were people who did not have the courage to grow or change, so they lacked the first ethic. They had no self-authority. They were 100% all victims, all of them. They had absolutely no self-regulation skills. They did not have the first, the second, or the third ethic. They lacked the cardinal value trust. They did not have the ability of the fourth ethic to set boundaries. They did have the fifth ethic, which was accountability, to the point of their own detriment, where they were consuming themselves because they didn't have the other four ethics plus the trust core value to sustain the fifth ethic. And they were all stuck at the sixth ethic of equal footing. Yes, everyone was equal except themselves. They made sure that they were bottom of the barrel underneath the feet of everybody else. And then there was no seventh ethic, which was a value for growth or learning. There was no eighth ethic, ninth, and the rest were gone. So what I was around was actually a group of people who only had one of the 12 ethics and no cardinal values. That's what I felt. And I had 200 people like that, all of them with a surplus of accountability and nothing else. And I went, wow, this is fucking toxic. And because they were so accountable, they were so kind, because they were so accountable, they were literally just consumed with alcohol, drug, sex, and just consuming each other. And it came off looking like they were like great people, until you mingle with them and you start to talk to them and you find out how fucked up all of them are, because they literally don't have any ethics. They were the most unethical group of people that looked ethical because they had the fifth ethic. So when I realized all of that, and you have to know psychology on a fucking level, Pythagorean psychology, to see it. And when I finally got to that point where I could see it, I had a whole, holy fucking shit. And I'm like, no, I'm done. I completely cut them off and I walked away from it. And it's the first time that I feel really fucking vindicated. I don't know if that's the right word. Let me look up that word. I need to make sure that's it just does that say what I mean, what I think it means? Let me see here. Nope, that is absolutely not at all what I want to say. It is not vindicated. It is validated. Good God, that is not at all vindicate. Oh my God. I'm glad I looked that up. Validated. I felt validated. I felt like, okay, I made the right decision. Validation is your autonomy. When you're validated, it's the reaffirmation of your autonomy. So I definitely walked away from that going, all right, I feel validated. My autonomy I made the right decision. So after that, it was this massive, massive feeling of just, I felt fantastic. Yeah, I felt fantastic. So yeah, it's definitely this solidifying of I stand for truth, I stand for ethics, I stand for logic, and if you can't handle that, exit stage left. So and I'm thinking about, well, how does this benefit everybody? Oh, for God's sakes, it benefits. Oh my God, the benefits. The benefits. Let's talk about the benefits. First of all, there's no bullshit. There's no bullshit. It's authentic and it's real. And it gives you a role model so you can see what it looks like. And you can listen and go, oh, that's the truth. And you'd be surprised what's the truth. This is the most, I'm going to do a whole thing on just, you would be surprised what the truth is. You would be surprised. I'm writing this down because we're going to do a whole podcast on this later. You would be surprised what the truth is. For instance, debauchery is ethical. Like, you would be surprised what the truth is. And that has been the most, like, through the whole fucking thing. I'm like, wait a minute. I got the 12 ethics. I have logic. I have truth. Holy fucking shit. And it blew my mind away when I was able to assess that. And I'm going, you're going to be surprised on what the truth is. You're going to be surprised on what ethical is. And you're going to see how much bullshit. Suddenly there's 2 books. There is Everything You Need to Know About Being Loved by the Narcissist. And then there's the truth. And I'm going, holy fucking shit. So the first thing I did was weed out this garbage book, Handbook of Love, written by the Narcissist. And that's the one we've all been given. That's what we've been given. We've been given the Handbook of Love by narcissists. And you're all walking around going, oh yeah, I have shit figured out. No, you don't. You, just like me, got the Handbook of Love from the narcissist. Why are you taking love lessons from narcissists? And that's when I'm like, oh yeah, okay. All right, that explains everything. Holy fucking shit, does it? All right, so I'm going to come back to this because I have a lot more to say. But right now I've got a meeting and I'm going to go jump into my meeting. And I'm going to think about life, the universe, and everything. All right. We're getting this. We're honing it down, people. We're honing it down. Thank you so much. And may the kindest of words always find you.